Hello, we're live at the scene, NBC News, in near Chernobyl, Ukraine. What happened here in just yesterday, April 26, 1986, the nuclear reactor at the power plant in Chernobyl was scheduled to have a routine assessment where they would be testing the potential safety emergency core cooling feature. This required a regular core shutdown, but while doing that, an explosion occurred and released large amounts of radioactive isotopes into the air, which caused a large open air flame. Here is Chernobyl at the northern border of Ukraine, right under Belarus. Some photos are. This is the reactor before the explosion, and then as you can see in this poorly res picture, this is the wreckage that happened. And I will bring it over to my co-anchor, Franky.
The evidence of the environmental damage that resulted in the flawed reactor and steam explosions and fires that released at least 5% of the reactive core into the atmosphere and downwind. The fallout had major impacts on both agricultural and natural ecosystems in Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine. Radionuclides were taken up by plants and later by animals. The environmental impacts varied according to location and ecosystems, but forests and bodies of water were amongst the most affected. This was reactor Unit 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear station. This is workers measuring radiation levels near the Chernobyl nuclear power station following the incident. And following the long-term effects of the disaster, the following days after the incident, 300,000 people were evacuated. Days later, the Soviet admitted that there had been an accident at Chernobyl, setting an outcry for the dangers of radioactive emissions. Although the number of total deaths is controversial and nobody can really agree on the number of deaths that resulted, it is estimated that 30 people died immediately after the incident and 4,000 people died later on due to long-term effects of radiation. Animals living in contaminated areas and near Chernobyl have suffered various side effects of the radiation.
Thank you, Franky. Methods of relief attempted at Chernobyl include, as Franky mentioned, evacuation of the site immediately. However, they also constructed a sarcophagus made out of concrete to help trap the nuclear radiation. And the future implications that resulted from this incident include changes to nuclear power plants, such as better training for managers and employees. It also puts standards on containment in the event of plant failure. While the future of nuclear power is still somewhat unclear, Chernobyl was a lesson in what the worst-case scenario could look like.
And that is the news, NBC News from
Channel 5.
Breaking news last night, Chernobyl explosion. We'll see you tomorrow with more news on what's happening. Bye.